Yeah, welcome to Sidebar Convo, where the real talk happens on the side.
Good morning to all my investors and stuff out there. Thank y'all for coming through on this Friday morning, another beautiful Friday morning. We about to have a great Sidebar Convo Radio Show episode for today. So hopefully y'all got y'all cups ready with y'all shot in there already, because we about to have a great conversation. Today convo we're gonna be jumping into today is gonna be about tapping into your entrepreneur frequency. So before we jump into that conversation, you know what time it is, guys. Make sure you hit on that subscribe button, subscribe to the Invest Media channel, and definitely hit on that notification bell so you can be notified when anything new drops on our channel. And definitely hit on that invest and hitting on that like button, guys. Invest in hitting on that like button, because it costs you nothing. It's free to invest in hitting that like button. But other than that, guys, I don't want to hold y'all too long. Like I said, man, today convo that we're going to be talking about today is tapping into your entrepreneurial frequency. So hopefully y'all got y'all, like I said, y'all got your cups ready. Y'all got your shot, because man, we about to have a great conversation. We about to drink good, and we're gonna start a Friday morning off just right, guys, just right. So hopefully, if you haven't listened to this previous show, we had a great entrepreneurial conversation show. Definitely go and check that out. This week is going to be a great entrepreneur conversation episode that we're going to have. So definitely tune into this one. Tune into this Monday show. And like I said, man, this show right here, Sidebar Convo Radio Show, was created for y'all to get the early scoop, whatever you want to call it, so y'all can be abreast on what the conversations, the entrepreneur conversation episodes is going to be about before it drops on Monday. So I'm just giving you a little brief rundown, and this also give you a chance to jump down in the comment section, tear it up. Any questions that you have, I definitely will answer them. So this is something, man, to get y'all week started, y'all weekend. Y'all can listen to something on the weekend, get y'all Friday going, whatever. So let's jump into the conversation for today, guys. Tapping into your entrepreneurial frequency, because this is something right here, frequency, if y'all don't understand, is something that is very important, right, to learn how to do. Because when you tap into different frequencies, it will take you to another level, right? So when you are transitioning to becoming an entrepreneur, you want to be able to learn how to tap into your entrepreneurial frequency. And that's about changing your mindset, right? You got to change your mindset to an entrepreneurial mindset, right? In order for you to tap into that frequency, right? So entrepreneurship is a different frequency, and everybody wants success, but not everybody thinks like a creator. Let me say it again. Everybody wants success, but not everybody thinks like a creator. See, when you become an entrepreneur, you have to have that creative spirit, that because it's all about creating your business, right? You have to create different things to keep your business, to grow your business, to take your business to the next level. And that's called innovation, right? So you got to have that creative gene within you. You got to know how to tap into it. You got to have that creator mindset. You got to be able to create things for your business in order for it to be successful, in order for it to grow, right? And entrepreneurs see opportunities where others see limitations. See, when you have that mindset of an entrepreneur, right, and you see things as an entrepreneur, right, you're going to be able to see opportunities when nobody else can see it. And that's meaning that you might spot something that's within the market that's missing, that's that's void. Let me say this, let me slow down. You may see something within a market that you are tapping into as an entrepreneur. You might see something that you can fill the void on, right? And whereas others may not be able to see that opportunity, but since you have that entrepreneur mindset, you be able to think and see like an entrepreneur, right? So that's what gives you advantage, right? That's what makes it so important, because you can spot opportunities, because opportunities is not isn't going to show up on your doorstep. It's about you creating opportunities, right? That's when opportunities present itself, right? So opportunities presenting itself is you been in the right place and you've been able to spot something that you can create an opportunity out of, right? So that's why it's so important for you to be able to change your mindset, hit the reset button so you can change your mindset to that entrepreneur mindset, right? So your mindset controls what you attract and what you ignore. Let me say it again. Your mindset controls what you attract and what you ignore. So if you are operating with a mindset, right, that of an entrepreneur, you're going to be able to controls what comes in your mindset, right? Because you got to understand, you want to be able to protect that because you trying to grow as an entrepreneur. So you want to make sure it's positive things that's going to help you grow. Nothing that's going to be against you growing as an entrepreneur, you becoming successful as an entrepreneur, something that's going to ruin your mindset, right? So that's the last thing you want to do. But if you have that mindset that's going to help you as far as being an entrepreneur, that's going to help you ignore things that's not important, things that's going to distract you, right? So it's all about staying disciplined, right? Being disciplined, right? So your environment programs your mind. Let me say it again. Your environment programs your mind. So that's why they say that what's the saying? You become a product of your environment. So whatever environment you in, subconsciously, I'm not saying everybody, or you may turn into it, but you see most of the time people turn into their environment on a subconscious level, right? So that's why it's important for you to change your environment, right? Because if you constantly around negativity, excuses, low ambition, it affects your frequency, right? So it's all about what frequency level you operate in. If you operate in that low frequency level, then that's the type of outcome you're going to get. Is things that's not going to work for you, right? As an entrepreneur, that's why it's important for you, if you want to raise your frequency level and get to that next part of it as being an entrepreneur, you must change your environment, right? You got to remove yourself from any negative things, anybody that makes a lot of excuses, and people that's with low ambition. You got to remove yourself from around them people, because they're going to, on a subconscious level, right, they're going to start affecting the way you think about things, the way you see things, the way you act, the way you move, everything. So the other thing is your conversations matter. So what are you conversing about, right? So you want to have conversation that's very productive, conversation, that's regarding building, becoming stronger as an entrepreneur, growing as an entrepreneur, having conversations that's going to be conducive to you becoming successful as an entrepreneur, right? So your circle either feeds your growth or drains your vision. Let me say it again. Your circle either feeds your growth or drain your vision. So that's why they say it's important for you to get around like-minded people, right? Because like-minded people like yourself, y'all are going to help each other grow, because y'all can bounce ideas off each other. Y'all can give each other advice, give each other tools, give each other things that's going to help y'all grow as an entrepreneur, become successful as an entrepreneur. So that's why it's important what circle that you are building around yourself as an entrepreneur, or what circle that you are immersing yourself in and what have you. So it's very important to understand that. So let me read that again. Your circle either feeds your growth or drains your vision. So things like social media distractions, right? Negative people, fear-based environments, right? And protecting your mental space, right? So these things right here, you got to understand, social media distraction. You want to remove anything off of your social media that's going to be a distraction. Negative people, you want to remove them away, because negative people are going to drain you, bring you down, and what have you. So fear-based environments, you don't want to be in an environment that's all about fear, because as an entrepreneur, you want to remove yourself from fear, because you have to step out there. You have to take risks as entrepreneurs, right? You got to step out your comfort zone so you can see how strong you are, so you can be able to test your strengths and what have you. So it's very important to understand that. And, you know, protecting your mental space, that's very important. Let me say it again. Protecting your mental space is very important as an entrepreneur, because if you're not mentally ready as an entrepreneur, you haven't mentally prepared yourself, then it's going to be hard for you to grow as an entrepreneur, because your business is going to go as far as you grow as an entrepreneur. Let me say it again. Your business is going to go far as you grow as an entrepreneur. So if you're not growing as an entrepreneur, your business is not going to grow at all. And another thing is, stop thinking like survival is the goal. Stop thinking like survival is the goal, because many people are stuck in survival mode, right? And you got to understand, you have some people that's the type of mindset they have. That's the type of mode they in right now, is survival mode, right? So, like what's the saying? You either you living or you surviving. And the last thing you want to do is just be surviving as an entrepreneur, right? That's not gonna, you're not gonna have longevity whatsoever in the field of entrepreneurship, right? So entrepreneurs eventually realize, right, ownership matters. Ownership definitely matters, right? Freedom matters. And that's why most of the time you have entrepreneurs, right, why most people want to become entrepreneurs, because they want to be able to create that freedom for themselves, right? They don't want to feel like they're tied down to the 9 to 5, but if they are tied down, at least it's to something that they building, something of their own, right? They can create their own schedule, you know. You don't have to ask for a day off and what have you, right? You can create your own freedom, right? And another thing is creating matters. Creating definitely matters, because like I said, you got to tap into your creative spirit, because now you are creating things that's going to help your business. That you are creating things that's going to help bring you that freedom that you're looking for as an entrepreneur, right? So you have to think beyond just what paying bills, because at the end of the day, this right here, a business as an entrepreneur, you're going to be creating to change your financial future, right? Secure your financial future, change people that's within your circle that's been supporting you, changing their situation, right? You know, so you got to think beyond just paying bills. Yes, you have to pay bills, but at the same time, you are building a business to solve problems for people, right? To create something people can benefit off of, creating something that you can fill the void within the market that you're in, right? So you got to think beyond just paying bills, because this is something of a business that you're going to use to help secure your future, right? Financially, be able to secure your freedom or what have you. So it's very important to understand that, guys. So vision is what separates entrepreneurs from average thinking. Let me say it again. Vision is what separates entrepreneurs from average thinking, right? So you cannot be an average thinker trying to be a successful entrepreneur, right? The next thing is frequency requires action. So you can't think entrepreneur and move lazy. Those two things don't go together, right? Let me say it again. You can't think entrepreneur and move lazy, because if you are a lazy entrepreneur, then you're definitely not going to make it far. You're not going to have longevity in entrepreneurship, right? So as an entrepreneur, you have to put in that work. If you listen to past episodes, you know, this is my favorite term that I use, or phrase, is you starting at ground zero as an entrepreneur. You got to build that foundation. So being lazy is not going to get it done, right? So ideas without execution are just entertainment. Let me say it again. Ideas without execution are just entertainment. So execution, at the end of the day, execution is what matters. Nothing else matters but executing. If you're not executing, then the goals that you create, the ideas that you created, is just something of a hobby, something of a thought, something you just want to do. But it's all about execution, right? Successful entrepreneurs move even when they don't feel motivated, and that's important. You definitely want to, even though you don't feel motivated, you still want to be able to get up and stay disciplined to the system, stay disciplined to the process, and what have you. So consistency, discipline, taking small daily steps, and learning while building. These things are very important when it comes to action, when it comes to frequency and what have you. Being consistent, disciplined, taking small daily steps, and learning while building, right? So your frequency raises when your excuses get quieter. Let me say it again. Your frequency raises when your excuses get quieter. Very important, guys. Very important. Fear blocks opportunity, right? So, fear keeps people stuck for years, which we already understand. Fear can be the downfall before you even get started as an entrepreneur. So don't allow fear to sabotage something that you could be great at, or something that you can offer, something that you can build. Don't let fear sabotage your chance at becoming financially free for yourself, giving yourself freedom of time and what have you. So don't allow fear to sabotage your success, right? So fear keeps people stuck for years. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of starting over. Entrepreneurs learn how to move scared. So you don't want to move scared as an entrepreneur, right? Definitely don't want to do that. So most opportunities are on the other side of what? Discomfort. So when you become uncomfortable, you got to be comfortable with becoming uncomfortable, right? That's just like stepping out of your box. You got to get out your comfort zone in order for you to see how strong you really are as an entrepreneur, right? Entrepreneurs protect their energy, right? So everything doesn't deserve your attention. So you got to pick and choose your battles. You can't be an entrepreneur that wears everything on their sleeves, because at the end of the day, all your emotional energy is going to be drained, because things that you really need to use your emotional energy on, guess what? You're not going to have anything left, because you done used it on things that wasn't important. You gave everything your attention. So you have to pick and choose your battles, and you can't be a person that wears everything on their sleeve. It's not going to help you, right? So stop giving energy to drama, comparison, distraction, people with no vision. Focus creates what? Momentum. It's all about getting that momentum, getting that ball of momentum rolling, right? So once again, stop giving your energy to drama, comparison, distraction, and people with no vision, right? So things that you can do to help protect your energy, right? So if you're a person that's religious, you can pray. If you're not a person that's religious, you can meditate and do other things, right, to help you protect your energy. Going to the gym. You have a lot of people that like go to the gym to get things off their mind, to keep them focused, to relieve stress and what have you, right? Quiet thinking time. Sometimes you have to sit in a room where no TV, no phone, no nothing, and you got to let quiet your brain down, because a lot of times we don't understand our brain is a tool that we use to think, but you got to learn how to quiet your brain down. You got to learn how to turn it off, so your brain can quiet down, right? Reading and learning. Definitely you want to read and learn. Reading new things that can help you as an entrepreneur, help you with your ideas, and learning about it, learning how you can build off the information that you have read and what have you. So it's very important. So last but not least, your habits reveal your future. And you got to understand this, guys. Your daily routine that you're going to do as an entrepreneur, this is going to be something that's going to help shape your next 5 to 10 years, right? Because it's all about having or sustaining longevity as an entrepreneur, right? And also, frequency isn't magic, right? It's built through repeated discipline. Let me say that again. Frequency isn't magic. It's built through repeated discipline. So you got to be disciplined to your system, disciplined to the process and what have you, right? Because at the end of the day, you will be rewarded with success when you stay disciplined to your system into the process, right? And you doing the things that you're supposed to do as an entrepreneur. This is about shaping your future, your next 5 to 10 years as an entrepreneur. Is very important, guys. It's very important. So the thing about this is waking up early, and if you're not a person that don't wake up early, but when you wake up, you want to take advantage of that time when you're up, making sure you're doing the things that's going to help shape your future, shape your business, shape yourself first as an entrepreneur, right? Planning your goals, right? Studying business, right? Staying consistent. All these things go hand in hand to help you as an entrepreneur, because the more you grow as an entrepreneur, more your business is going to grow. It's very important to understand that, guys. So before I leave, man, hopefully thank y'all for coming through, man, and sitting down with me, having a convo, listening to this conversation that I'm having with y'all today, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed y'all drinks and what have y'all. We do this every Friday, a Sidebar Convo Radio Show. But before I go, let me say this: the entrepreneur frequency starts internally before success becomes visible externally. So you got to understand that, guys. It starts with you. Everything starts with you. Starts with your mindset. You must change yourself and who you are, the way you think, so you can transition into that entrepreneur mindset, guys. Very important to understand that, guys. But other than that, thank y'all for coming through. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the Invest Media channel. Make sure you hit on the notification bell so you can be notified when a new episode drop. And also hit on that like button, man. It's free to invest in hitting that like button, guys. But other than that, man, thank y'all for coming through, having a drink with me, and listen to another Sidebar Convo Radio Show, man. Thank y'all, and I see y'all this Monday. Tune in to the Entrepreneur Conversation, the full episode. So jump down in the comment section, leave any questions that you have, and I definitely will answer that. And some of them I will implement when I'm doing the recorded full episode. I will answer some of the questions, put the questions within the episode that I'm recording for this Monday and what have you. But other than that, guys, I see y'all.